let's talk about something that doesn't sound too serious until it happens to you. Soft tissue injuries. You've probably heard of whiplash, maybe even brushed it off as just a sore neck. But what happens when that sore neck becomes something that changes your life? This is the true story of injured passenger X, who didn't just suffer from whiplash. She fought a legal battle and walked away with $112,000 in compensation. Here's how a car accident turned into a case that made the courts rethink how we look at long-term injuries. Ready? Let's dive in. It was May 25th. Injured passenger X was sitting in the passenger seat minding her own business, driving along Southwest Highway in Armidale, Western Australia. And then it happened. At-fault driver Y, coming from 4th Road, collided with her car. The impact was strong enough to push the vehicle across the road, and injured passenger X was thrown around inside the car, forward, sideways, and backwards. This wasn't just a minor fender bender. Injured passenger X didn't just walk away with some aches and pains. She suffered a whiplash-associated disorder, ongoing neck pain and headaches. But that's not all. The accident worsened her pre-existing depression and brought back lower back pain she'd been managing before. Injured passenger X decided to take her case to court. After all, this wasn't something she could just push through and get better from. This was life-changing. The medical experts had their say. Dr. Fairhurst, her GP, diagnosed her with whiplash-associated disorder and recommended physiotherapy and psychological treatment. Dr. Porteous, an occupational physician, observed that her neck movement was limited and explained that her injuries were likely to make day-to-day tasks harder, especially physical tasks at work. But it was Mr. McLaren, an orthopedic surgeon, who laid out the long-term impact of her injuries. His conclusion? This wasn't just a temporary issue. Injured passenger X was unlikely to recover fully in the usual 12 to 18 months that most people might expect after a soft tissue injury. The prognosis was poor, partly due to her pre-existing depression. Not everyone agreed. Dr. Bowden initially diagnosed the same injuries but later changed his view, saying that injured passenger X didn't have any ongoing issues. However, the court didn't side with him. His opinion was dismissed due to inconsistencies with the other medical evidence and a lack of cross-examination on key points. Injured passenger X wasn't alone in testifying. Her son confirmed that after the accident she needed help with basic household tasks, something she could handle on her own before. Her colleague backed this up too, describing how injured passenger X's performance at work declined after the accident. More absences and an inability to complete physically demanding tasks. Employment records showed the same thing. More sick leave, more days off. But these records were incomplete, so while they confirmed the absences, the full impact on her earning capacity was harder to quantify. Then the court laid it all out. The total compensation awarded, $112,024, broken down like this: past special damages, $1,000, future medical treatment, $4,000, past economic loss, $7,868, future economic loss, $20,000, past gratuitous services, $23,524, provided by her children and mother for things like grocery shopping and household chores. Future gratuitous services, $15,142, non-pecuniary loss for the pain and suffering, $40,400. In the end, the court recognized that injured passenger X wasn't going to fully recover. Judge Gething explained that she fell into the category of people who don't make a full recovery from soft tissue injuries within the typical time frame. This wasn't just about compensating for medical bills, it was about acknowledging the long-term impact on her life. This case didn't just affect injured passenger X, it set an important precedent. The court looked beyond the typical 12 to 18 months that most people take to recover from whiplash and recognized that some cases, like this one, leave lasting effects. So, what can we learn from this? Soft tissue injuries might seem minor at first, but they can have serious long-term consequences, and when that happens, it's important to fight for the compensation that reflects the true impact on your life. Injured passenger X did, and she won. And as for at-fault driver Y, maybe next time they'll pay a little more attention at the intersection, because this wasn't just a car accident, it was a life-altering event,